Hello YouTube, this is Daily Yap number 3, and today I wanted to talk about how to make going to the gym fun. Yeah, I've personally been going to the gym for more than 10 years now, and I've done, a lot of things, like first going for hypertrophy, to look good. I went for some strength at some time, now I'm going to do sprinting. But, besides that, I want to talk about like what I think is the main error or mistake that a lot of people do, that makes them say or think like, oh my god, I hate going to the gym, like it's not fun, I can't find the motivation. And so I think that the main problem is that a lot of people think that when you go to the gym you have to have like a strict routine and that you have to abide by it all the time. So let's say, like the usual advice is like, hey, you should do between 3 and 5 sets of like X weight, and you should do that between like 8 and 12 reps. And, those advices, it's exactly because that's like the sweet spot of the range and the repetitions and the sets that you should do for hypertrophy. Which, like if that's your main goal, that's perfectly fine. And if you feel motivated by it, then you should definitely go for that. But what I'm saying is that most people don't really are like maximizers when it comes to like hypertrophy, They want to get the results. But remember, like the results, Pareto principle, usually like the 80% of the results come from just 20% of the action or the effort. Like just showing to the gym in a somewhat consistent way and like go to a somewhat high intensity, that's more than enough, more than the type of exercises that you do, the form to some extent, and the weights that you do. Like do a little bit of something has so much impact that just doing nothing at all. But anyway, so I'm talking like for the vast majority of people that don't find the motivation in itself of just going and do sets. Because honestly, like, when you think about it, that's a routine. That's something that you go and you do. And like, if it's a routine, you know that you can do it consistently. So a lot of times you're not really pushing yourself, but you are actually pushing yourself through a lot of pain, which is actually a lot of like that muscle soreness, that we all have felt at some point in our lives. So what do I do? Because once again, I did that for a long time in my life and in my like fitness journey, I say. And sure, it worked for some time, but after, a couple of years, it was like, like it's doing the same thing. Maybe I was progressing, but the progress is like a little bit slower. And of course, you're progressing in visual changes, but the visual changes, a lot of the times they are like slower than, let's say getting stronger. So that's exactly what I suggest for a lot of people. What you should do is that you should go for like what I call the top set. So basically you go and you do like your warm-up, you start maybe a little bit on the lighter side or doing less repetitions of something. And then what you do is that you always try to push yourself in just one set. So how does that look like? For me, for example, I know that I can do squats for like 100 kilograms. So now maybe what I will do next time is that, okay, I know that I can do 100 kilograms for 5 repetitions. Maybe the next time I will go for 100 kilograms and 6 repetitions. Or maybe I'll go for 105 kilograms for 3 repetitions, which I'm not sure if it's more intense than the 100 for 5, but it's still like something that's a little bit over, And that way, if I go to the gym and I'm not really feeling like it, I still have that one set that I'm like, okay, no, I want to hit this, and that's like honestly the only goal. Like as long as I hit that set, the whole workout is like fine. Then I just do, other work. If I feel motivated, I go hard on other exercise. But if I don't, then I just go easy on the other exercise. If I go to the gym and do just like 3 exercises, that's fine. If I go and do 5 exercise, 6 exercise, that's also fine, because I hit my top set. And I think that why this is better than just going and do your routine. Well, because one, that at least for some moment, you are actually pushing yourself. You are not going just through the motions that that you can do in like a 4x10 repetitions routine. You're actually thinking like, oh man, I'm actually like doing something that I've never done before, that being weight or repetitions. So you have to be like really present in that moment, and it becomes a challenge, and one that you're not 100% sure that you can hit, or maybe if you're sure that you can hit that you've never done. And that's something, that's makes you look forward to something in the gym. and in my experience has done everything so much more interesting, because it's like, okay, every time that I go, I'll try to do something. And you know why this is so awesome? It's because even as someone like myself that has been going to the gym somewhat consistently for 10 years, I still find myself that it's like, oh, you know what? I've never like maxed in this specific exercise. And when I say max, once again, I'm talking about either weight or repetitions, because going for 1 rep maxes is actually something that's like really risky because it can involve a lot of injury. And well, it's tiring to go for your max all the time. But if you're saying like, oh, I'm going to go for my max of 7, which is not something that you would usually do, that's good enough, man. And yeah, so I wanted to share like this piece of advice, like this concept of the go for the top set and go for always something that you haven't done before. And that makes the gym so much more interesting. And the great thing is that you can just pick the exercise that you like the most. For example, a lot of girls like to squat, they don't like to bench, so pick squat. A lot of guys like to bench, they don't like to squat, so pick bench. Maybe you're sore and you cannot do your top bench. Well, then why don't you try some dumbbells? Why don't you try some biceps? And as long as you hit that one point, that one set that you are like, oh, I've never done this before, it just becomes rewarding. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for many years now, and it has kept me motivated to go to the gym. And of course I do other stuff, but this is specifically for the gym. So yeah, that's it. Goodbye.